Why do I look like some high school kid who get bullied?
It's very descriptive of you. You want to talk about that?
What? What are you trying to say? I used to bully them kids. Okay.
You used to bully.
Nah, I'm kidding.
Oh wow, these dynamic bones are nice.
Oh. Oh, gee, look at this.
Oh, extendo. Can I do that with my penis? Okay, I'm about to get distracted. Let's not. All right, we're gonna be reviewing the Quest 2 because through certain circumstances we both obtained a Quest 2. For me, it was because I wanted to upgrade for Bkoor.
I broke my cable, so I had a temporary headset to use, and it was the Quest 2.
Yeah, he while he was having fun and Beat Saber and spinning around, he broke his cable. His Vive Pro, so he was stuck with a Quest. But since we had, I don't know, how long has it been since you've had the Quest? Like 3 or 4 months?
I used it for at least 2 months,
Oh, 2 months. Okay.
so I have an experience of 2 months and more of the Quest 2.
Okay, and I think I've had, has it been since May? About like 7 or 8 months of Quest 2 experience. So first, where's my dock? Where's my dock? Where'd it go? Oh no, I closed out. No! The first point is the cost. Now, what do we think about the cost? Okay, actually first I would like to say that these are from, this is a good thing because this review is from two completely different type of players' perspectives. We have Bkoor, who I would say is a VR enthusiast, seeing as, you know, he's got the full body, he's rocking with the Vive Pro, the Lighthouse tracking type of VR. And then there's me. I'm the average broke-ass consumer. So we so we're gonna have, you know, some different points, and I think that's what's also gonna be good about this review and why you should watch it. So yeah, anyways, let's talk about the cost. I would say that it's very affordable because it's like, you know, it's the same exact cost as a Nintendo Switch, and of course I have a Nintendo Switch, so seeing a Quest 2 be like $300 was absolutely amazing. I was like, yo, that's a steal, and it's gonna be like a really easy way to get into VR. And of course I got it, but this was also when I had the Quest 1, which was $200, which is also very, very affordable in terms of VR, because when I wanted to get into VR and I saw HTC Vive as like my first VR headset that they were showing off, it's like, oh cool, how much does it cost? And then I see that the entire kit is $1,100. I said, okay, I guess I'm gonna wait on VR for a while.
I think the price is too good. Like, if you told someone about this performance for a headset a couple years ago with this price, he will say it's too good to be true.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
this is the best price out there in the market with performance that the Quest 2 provide.
Yeah, there's
So
some times where I use my Quest and I'm like, this was really $300? It feels like it should be more. But yeah, it's a really good like entry price for anybody, and that's also why the Quest 2 is selling so well, because of the lower and affordable price, and it's mostly aimed towards consumers and less towards enthusiasts, which I think is also really good for the VR market, because just targeting enthusiasts with super high prices is not going to make it expand as large as
yeah.
it
The
should.
Quest 2 price is like a push for the VR into DC.
Yeah,
Into
exactly.
DC? What's the word?
Industry. There you go. You're fine.
Interesting.
There's
Yeah.
also the PSVR, but that was like $400, which is also good. That also helps with make it mainstream, but this is not about the PSVR. That is a different story.
I think the Quest 2 is the best thing that happened to VR recently.
Yeah,
With
I totally agree. It's one of the things that made it rocket into the mainstream and got old people using it, little children using it. Probably not a good thing, but you got them using it. we know our experiences with little kids on VR. But how about designs?
design, oh my god, the design is so cool that you can put that in your room as a decor, as something, to show off.
Mm-hmm.
That's how cool the design is.
Yeah, I
It's
really
like
like
from
it.
the future or something.
Right? I like how sleek it is. It's just, and it's so small too, so it makes it easier to package too.
Especially with these, there's some add-on you can buy, or you can put the headset, which also kind of came in close shape to it, so it's gonna make it look even cooler.
I can picture
Honestly,
that. Yeah.
if you think about all the headset design, I think my favorite is the Quest 2. That
Really?
design is so good. Yeah, I don't think there's a headset that catch my eyes with their design like the Quest 2. Everyone is like going a little bit extra with the design,
That's
wanna
true.
kind of show off.
That's
Yeah,
true.
but Quest 2 design make it simple but so appealing. So that's also another W for the Quest 2. The price, the design.
Oh, the weight. Yo, the weight is so good. It's like it's almost like I don't feel anything in my head.
I switched from the Vive Pro to the Quest 2, and one of the best thing I felt in this headset was the weight. It's so I can move my head freely, which in Vive Pro, which I'm using right now, by the way, it just it's so heavy, man.
The Quest 1
Coming back to the Vive.
was actually heavier than the Quest 2, so I was really surprised by that. It was
Also, you also felt the difference.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
because the
that's
Quest 2
like
was kind of big. I mean, Quest 1 was
it's
kind
a
of big.
better headset and a lighter one. That's how the future should be.
True,
So,
very true.
so Vive, please learn with your Vive Pro 2 that is heavier than the normal Vive Pro. You should go down, not up. So weight is also a W.
That's a W. That's a very big pro. If you want something that's light on your head, not giving you a neck pain, Quest is here for you. Ease of use. Whew, okay. I guess, well, actually, ease of use in terms of setting things up and getting into games or getting into apps. Just how fast you can set it up when you first get it, and then just start playing. For me, because seeing as I came from the Quest 1, it's literally the same exact setup. You turn it on, you look at a few safety acknowledgments for legal reasons, and you make your play space, and then that's it. Well, and sign into your Facebook account, and that's it.
So friendly to anyone. So friendly. Compared to the Vive where I set up my things, the Quest 2 is way easier.
Yeah, for setup for Quest in general with their in-house software, it was like super easy for me, and I just got into games.
It's still easy even with using the AirLink.
Yeah.
That's a click of a button, that's all.
Yeah. Airlink and Oculus Link connecting to PC is actually just super easy. You plug it in, and then the Quest says, "Hey, you can use Oculus Link or AirLink now," and you click that, and now you're connected to your PC.
It's so easy that sometime I'm gonna choose to wear the Quest 2 instead of Vive. That's because how easy I'm gonna get in things and stuff.
I guess we could talk about the battery life while we're at it. What do you think of the battery life?
Well, I don't know. That's not a W. 3 hours is totally not enough.
It's a very
Well,
short
it's
time.
I mean, it's dependent on you and how much you're gonna play VR.
That's
But
true.
like for VR, who gonna play for long session? That's not a W.
Yeah, for
But I guess it's a standalone VR headset after all. So
That's true.
of course it's gonna have a limit to it. You're not buying a cable one.
yeah, there's a battery. I kind of do wish that it was a larger battery, and I kind of wish that they didn't need accessories for the battery life to be longer. But I do see, like, because they had to put in some sacrifices to make it $300.
Yeah, keep in mind it is a very cheap one. And also the idea of them might add ads into the Quest. What's gonna be
I
annoying.
heard about that, and there is the option for developers to opt out of the ads things in their games, and a lot of them are opted out, so I don't really see ads in VR. I haven't really experienced a single one, but I did hear about that. For me, I have ADHD, so I wouldn't notice that, but I do see where it can be concerning to people.
I don't care if it's like a poster somewhere in
Yeah,
here,
if it was like a poster that was like
but
implemented
but it's
into the
something
game.
that's shoved into my face every then and now. That's gonna be annoying.
Yeah, so I'm hoping it's like it's integrated into the game where it's like it shows a bill. Yeah, like Reese said, it shows a billboard and it just has the ad. And it's like, oh, okay, that's cool, and that's it. And not like where it just stops your game completely. It's right up in your face, like, hey, you should get this item that I'm advertising right now. Yeah, that would get annoying, and I would probably be like, all right, time to go to a different company for a headset. Tracking quality. What about? I know you've had troubles with tracking quality.
Well, my opinion is different because I came from base station tracking,
That is true.
and to compare that to the inside-out tracking, I still think the base station is better, more accurate, and more, you know, more comfortable. Look at that. This is base station, but compared to the price, I think that I had a trouble with the tracking, but it's still actually decent.
Yeah, when we were playing VR chat, you had some tracking issues, and we were thinking that it was probably the sensors that may have been defective.
Yeah, probably I fucked up my headset because it did fall down one time.
I forgot about that.
Something I did to check out how good the tracking is just grab a bin and make it try something and just stop and see how much movement it has.
Yeah, how much jitter it has.
Yeah, and compared to the base station 5 Pro, this one did better. The Vive did better.
Okay.
While the Quest just kept moving a little bit. I mean, you don't expect inside out to be better than the base station anyway. That's something we know already. But compared to, let's compare it to other inside out tracking VR headset.
Yeah, there's the Windows Mixed Reality. Oh god.
When you do that, I think there's also Cosmo, which is also pretty bad.
Oh jeez.
So I think I think the Quest 2 is really in a good place.
That's
with
true.
the inside out tracking, and it's very impressive.
For me, seeing as I did come from inside out tracking, because again, the Quest 1 had inside out tracking, but there were sometimes where the Quest 1 had a little bit of had some tracking issues where something would stop, and also the viewing angles were definitely not as wide as the Quest 2. Oh, hello. Who joined the Discord?
I think
The tracking wasn't as wide, it wasn't as good as the Quest 2. Now, I can say that I've had some issues recently with the Quest 2 tracking, but that is mostly because like the screen would go black and then I couldn't move anything. It was like kind of like the OS was freezing itself. I'm pretty sure it was a software issue, and it actually happened before we were setting this up, and it was pretty annoying because I had to put for some reason the only fix was to put my face right up on the Quest 2 panel, and then it would just fix itself, which was very weird. And I'm not sure it's because it's the inside of the inside sensor that I can tell if there's light being blocked or anything, because as soon as I adjusted my headset to where it fully covers the face, it was completely fine. But that is something to note. It was very weird. It was extremely weird. I didn't know what to feel about it. I was kind of frustrated, a bit sad. I was like, oh no, is this Quest 2 dying? But I'm not sure. It might be some bugs. I might need to factory reset it. But right now it's kind of iffy. But it's definitely better than the Quest 1's tracking. It's definitely feels way more accurate. And like with Bkoor's sensors on his Quest 2, I think there might be some issues with it.
One thing that impressed me was how they're able to track even when it's not facing the sensors. So it can actually track me. See, you're doing it right now. This is not facing the sensor at all, and somehow they're still tracking.
I think it has to do with the IMUs in the controller, where once it gets out of the view of the sensors, it starts guessing on where your hands are. And of course, once I keep it behind,
and it's very accurate. Actually.
If I keep it around too long, then it starts to lose where I am. But like if I do it like quick strokes, it can tell exactly where I am, or like this. So
I think that's very impressive, actually.
Yeah, it's a cool way of like you can still kind of do 360, because there are games where you have to reach behind your back to get something. So it needs to accommodate for that. I had to do it a lot, especially in games like The Walking Dead. When I had to grab my backpack, and I guess it likes to accommodate for that, which is good. I like that. I like that they have a little thing where it's like, it's a pseudo 360, not completely, but it's kind of there. But yeah, the tracking's pretty good.
Yeah, as an inside-out tracking headset, I think they're in pretty good place.
Yeah, I think I would say it's probably the best inside-out tracking right now. Resolution.
My experience with the Quest 2 was just Airlink, so it just games being streamed to my headset. So I never actually saw the real quality of things. Things sometimes are pixelized. So I don't think I see what the Quest 2 is capable of in terms of resolution and quality.
I guess for mice, because I use the cable link a lot, which is still kind of a compressed video, like people like to say, but I guess when in terms of like, you know, just standalone Quest 2 display, I think it's really crisp and really clear. Like it's very sharp. And it is LCD, which is a bump down from Quest 1's OLED.
That's something I noticed since I use the Vive Pro, which has the OLED screen.
Yeah.
So I can notice the difference between the colors when I came back from the Quest 2 after 2 months use to the Vive, and I didn't realize until I saw this myself. Having an OLED screen make colors way much better, and I wish the Quest 2 had that.
Yeah.
That's something you're not gonna notice unless you yourself switch to OLED and see for yourself.
Yeah, it's true. If you like, if the Quest 2 is like your first ever VR headset, you're not gonna notice anything. You're gonna think it's super clear. But if you upgrade from a Quest 1, you're gonna definitely notice that.
Quest 1 has an OLED?
Yeah, Quest 1 had an OLED. Just a lower resolution screen.
Wait, they kind of went down with this.
It was kind of a trade-off.
I mean, it makes sense with this price, no?
Yeah. And when you get into a higher resolution with OLED, since OLED's like the best display, it gets more expensive. So they had to keep it at a. They want to keep in higher resolution, but have the display still look pretty good, but of course not destroy the bank. So they decided to switch it to LCD, and that's also why the new Nintendo Switch OLED costs $50 more, because OLED screens do cost more. But yeah, for me, as much as I do miss the deep dark colors and the brighter colors, I still think that the Quest LCD display is actually pretty nice. But of course, it's if you just get it, you're not gonna notice it. But so far, it's really good. Even if it is a compressed video through Oculus Link, it's still very sharp. And actually, with the new update, they increased the quality of Oculus Link to make it look way better, and I can definitely see that it looks entirely better. It's kind of like night and day from version 32 to 33. So if you get it now, you're gonna have a good time looking at everything. You were able to see before, but now it's just it's almost like you're looking at things natively through a screen. But yeah, I like the resolution. It's really nice. A bit disappointing on OLED, but you know, it is what it is. Controllers. What do you think of controllers?
Oh my goodness, I've been using these Vive ones for a year now, and I fucking hate them. The first thing I loved about the Quest 2 is the controllers. It's so much better. It's so easy, so friendly. I just wish Vive learned from that. Was it the same as the Quest 1?
For Quest 1, it kind of was the same controller, except that the disc...
Did you notice any upgrade?
Yeah, the disc on the base is actually wider, so it's easier for my thumb to rest on the controller. Rather than just resting on the buttons, I can rest on this little pad that they have on the controller.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, and of course, and the battery life is way longer. I'm talking like... with the Quest 1 controller, it was where I used my 2 batteries, and it was... it went through for like maybe 2 days. With this one, it's like... I'm talking weeks. Like
I think a week. I think it took me a week. I even forget these things. Right? You have to switch the battery.
Like I just got a notification that my left controller battery is low. I'm like, oh damn, it's been like 3 weeks. I gotta recharge. Oh, crazy. Anyways, but
There's only one thing I didn't like, by the way. It's how short it is when where you hold your hand onto the controller. It's kind of short. Wish it was a little bit longer.
Do you have larger
Like
hands?
I don't know, is it my hand or because I'm using to these wands? Because these wands is just too
That is true.
big
That can
cucumber
sway
in
you
my
too.
hand.
Yeah. It's like the gigantic Wii remotes.
Yeah, so suddenly switching to this, like I can hold like the end of these controllers. It's just too long.
Mhm.
Sometimes I want to do that with the Quest 2, but I cannot. It's just too short, so it slips sometimes.
Gotcha.
Other than that, I love the controller.
These are actually larger than the Quest 1 controllers just by a little bit, but not just because of the base, but the little handles. And I think, yeah, the point of these controllers is like for it to fit into your hand in a resting pose, and that's actually what I tried to teach you when we were doing gestures in VR chat.
Oh yeah,
We were like,
oh yeah. It took me a little bit of time to get used from the Vive to the Quest. They're very different.
yeah, because this has like a lot of capacitive sensors. So like you put your hand lightly on the grip or trigger, and it can tell that you have your hand on it.
Let's talk about how durable the controllers are.
You could break the wall before you break the controller.
I agree. These controllers fell down a lot for me, and worst scenario is just the cover for the batteries goes off. That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing else happened to them. They're very solid, very strong.
I'm really impressed with the build quality of these. As much as they are plastic, it's like really durable plastic. I'm very surprised. There were so many times where I would hit the wall or hit a shelf, and I'm like, oh shit. But then I worry more about my hand than controllers because I know the controllers are gonna be fine. My hands are not as durable though.
I didn't even have an extra batteries because how not used I was to them.
Yeah, that's right.
Die.
It died during that one time. You're like, oh, so how do I charge them? Like, you need new batteries.
What do you think? I do wish
batteries.
if they were chargeable though. I'm used to them being chargeable instead of buying batteries.
I guess.
But I guess you can have this solved by having batteries that are chargeable.
Yep, that's what I have. I have about 8 of them, so I cycle between them all the time, and I don't have to wait for things to charge. For me, I feel like it's a pro and con because yeah, you gotta swap out the batteries when they die, but there's also that idea that if you do have spare batteries or you brought a whole bunch of batteries with you and they die, you can easily
you're back to the action immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is something that I cannot do with these ones. They die, here we go, put them and charge again.
Yeah.
Or gotta play while the wire will stick to them, which is very annoying.
And I guess about our thoughts about the Quest 2 going forward. How about you start, since you're the enthusiast?
I'm gonna use it more. I don't think it's gonna be my main headset though, because simply the things I'm looking for is things that the Quest 2 doesn't provide. But credit for it, like the Quest 2 did push the VR industry a lot. I think it's just the best thing that happened to VR recently. Because of the Quest 2, now other companies are also looking into standalone or wireless options, and also with the price they're given, now they gotta challenge the Quest 2 also with lower price or similar price. So I know there's a lot of hate for the Quest 2 because of Facebook, but I mean, Google know your location, and Facebook is not the first website. I think people looking into it so much.
My thing, I have my hugest criticism with a lot of VR tubers, is that they do like to talk about Facebook and data privacy and all that, but they're talking about this and uploading this on a Google owned company site called YouTube, and it's a bit ironic and kind of weird.
The information that Facebook is taking from you is exactly what they are taking also from you. Exactly. So I don't get it when they are mad at Facebook only and no one else.
Exactly. It's very odd. It kind of gives me a head scratcher. It's like, all right, but you're on YouTube though, and you pretty much make a video of like everything about your life, or you give out some decent information about yourself, that Google will definitely use for later in their ads. So it's just kind of weird. I feel like as a YouTuber, I can't really talk about data privacy because of course like I'm a YouTuber, my shit's out there. There's and also like you go on Steam and then they're like, hey, here's a thing that you might like based on the things that you've played. So that's also data collection. It's not very different from each other. Of course, because it's a thing against Facebook, which I get, but it also just doesn't make sense to not point out that there's other companies out there that do the exact same thing, and you're using their platforms freely and letting them collect your data freely and not pointing that out. But yeah, the whole Facebook thing, I don't really care about. I've had Facebook for like since I was 12. They know everything about me. It doesn't really matter anymore.
I also don't care about that. I don't even use my Facebook, and all I did is just link it to my Quest, and probably would never like use Facebook again.
And of course, like I said, I get it. Big corpo's bad, but it's also weird to have a type of loyalty to other companies when they also do the same exact things. So I can't really criticize Facebook on that type of stuff when I use YouTube. So it doesn't work for me like that. But yeah, Facebook couldn't really care. Yeah, you have to use a Facebook account. What I do is that I high link my Facebook account and I never use Facebook again because I'm not trying to get banned. So I'm trying to keep a clean slate, which my account is in good standing, so we're good. We're good for a very long while, and I'm pretty sure most of my stuff that I had that was a bit risque is gone by now. So yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much all that we have on the. Do you have any more thoughts on the Quest 2 that you would like to share?
You gotta know what you're looking for to buy for the Quest 2 to buy. It's something I recommend to everyone, even if they are not into Inside Out. But the moment they get into VR with the Quest 2, then it's so easy to upgrade to something else. It's easier than them getting a high-end headset immediately.
That's
because, you know,
because what
if you recommend someone to get a 1000 VR headset to get into virtual world, he's gonna be into it for a moment, but then probably not gonna buy that. And actually that has happened to a few friends of mine. They get the Quest 2, they really get into VR, virtual world, and they just upgrade to something else.
Because it's a big, like, VR is a really big investment, and I've noticed that it seems like it's, I mean, yeah, it is a very big investment, which I feel like the Quest 2 is the safest investment you could make in terms of getting into VR, because of course the price, if you didn't like it, you lost $300.
You're either gonna like it and stop there, or like it so much, so you're gonna upgrade if you can afford that.
For me, I guess I think I'm pretty comfortable with where I'm at in terms of VR. I think Quest 2 is going to be my only upgrade until they make maybe a Quest 3 or a Quest Pro. But that also depends on what features they have and what makes that one better than the Quest 2. Because right now, I don't feel like that there's a reason for me to upgrade to a different VR headset, especially since the gigantic jump in price. You got the Quest 2, and then which is at $300. Then you get to the Vive Pro, which is $1,100. That's a $800 difference. And right now I don't have that type of money. So, if there is like a Quest 2 Pro that comes out and it's like at a decent price and it is better than the Quest 2, then I'll look into it. But right now I think I'm very comfortable with the Quest. And the people at Oculus support have also been very nice to me. So
for me, Quest 2 is a good secondary headset. It didn't become my main, but it was good enough to actually buy another one and make it a secondary. That's how good I think the Quest 2 is.
If you ever travel anywhere, you still have VR chat, and you have VR to work with. I think that's pretty much all our thoughts on the Quest 2. I heavily recommend it if you're going to go into VR. It's the best value for virtual reality. And of course, if you don't care
It
about,
gives so much for so little. That's what I think.
if you don't mind Facebook account and all that, and you just want to get in, play some VR games, play some Beat Saber, talk with people, find new people on VR chat, like how I met Bkoor. You know,
VR chat.
Yeah. I have a love-hate relationship with that game. Holy shit. But yeah, it's definitely good. It's a good headset. I definitely recommend it.
Thank you for watching. And if you stick around until the end of the video, this is a special gift for you. Here's a code for $100 giveaway from Gordon to you
that was
guys.
against YouTube
And
guidelines. We
thank
cannot do
you.
that.
Thank you for sticking around. I appreciate you guys.
Also, check out Bkoor on TikTok, Bkoor VR. I'll put his link in the description.
And tell us how much you agree with us in the comments.
And if you don't agree with us, I'm gonna mute you. No, joking. Alright, so yo.
Goodbye.
Ooh, nice splits.